How's it going, YouTube? And welcome to another episode of the Sports Talk Podcast with Alec Pecano. Please remember, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, to like and subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a future upload. Today's show will be on college basketball upsets and NBA upsets, along with a possible, maybe a special guest. I don't know yet. He is working on some things. He might be on the show today. He might not. My other co-host every Friday for the show. But if he's not on, it's fine. We will work through it, and he will be on next week. But let's get started with previewing the college basketball and NBA schedules for today, along with me giving you picks for every game. Share screen, men's college basketball schedule. So we're going to start at 6 o'clock tonight with Bowling Green and Ohio University. The line here, I don't necessarily like the spread of Ohio minus 7.5. If you look at both teams' records, both teams have a positive record, but something tells me here that Bowling Green, I think Bowling Green's going to win here. I like Bowling Green plus 7.5 to beat Ohio. Then you've got at 6:30 on ESPN Plus, you've got Arkansas State and Appalachian State. Now in this game, I'm going to take Appalachian State, and I'm going to take over 148.5. And here's the reason why. I don't want anything 6.5 or below screams upset to me. So that is why I would feel better taking Appalachian State in whatever their number is to win, plus the over of 148.5. The next game is at 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Siena in Manhattan. Now, like I just said a minute ago, look at that point spread. I don't care about Siena's record here. I know they're 4-23, but that minus 2.5 for me here screams upset big time. So I like Siena plus 2.5 to cover and win if they have the opportunity. And if you're feeling gutsy, the total is 136.5. I would feel confident in the under 136.5. So that is Siena plus 2.5 and under 136.5 points. Then Niagara and Ryder is also at 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. And again, I understand Ryder's got a negative record here, 12-16 overall, but they're 9-8 in conference, which tells me they've been playing really good in conference. And like I just said about Manhattan and Siena, if you look at the point spread here for Niagara and Ryder, it is the same thing for Niagara and Ryder as it is for Manhattan and Siena. I am taking Ryder plus 2.5. In this one, I'd feel a little bit better taking over 144.5 because I do think there's going to be a lot of points scored. At 7 o'clock, another 7 o'clock game is Iona and Quinnipiac. And I'm going to take Iona minus 2.5 here, and I'm going to take over 150.5. Now, see, Marist and Fairfield, I'm going to give you a little insight on this game. I'm not going to give you the full tangent, but I'm going to take over 136.5 in this game. I will give you my pick for the Fairfield Marist game later. Mount St. Mary's and Canisius. I like it's a battle of two mid teams in the MAC conference. The Metro Athletic Conference. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. But I like Mount St. Mary's plus 1.5 here, and I like over 140.5. You've got Florida Gulf Coast and JU. Jacksonville University is the next game. Again, this is another one that's on my board for upset, so I'm not going to give you the full, but I like over 132.5. I will give you my pick later on. Dartmouth and Yale. Now, and this is the other thing. If a point spread's over 17.5, I don't want anything to do with the team that's favored. I'm taking Dartmouth plus the points here to cover. I think Yale wins, but I like Dartmouth plus 19.5 to cover. You got Marshall and Georgia State. This is an interesting little game. I like the over here, 151.5. And I also like Marshall to get their 8th conference win of the year. Brown. Oh, no, I skipped one. Georgia Southern, Old Dominion. I am taking Georgia Southern in the over in this game. Over 151.5, and give me Georgia Southern to win. Harvard and Brown. Brown's favored by 2.5. This screams upset any way you look at it. And it's not going to look good for Brown. I'm taking Harvard plus 2.5 here. Now, Stetson, North Florida is not an upset, but it is on my board for cover picks later on. So, again, and same with Queens and Kennesaw. That's one of my upsets, and Coastal Carolina and James Madison. But with North Florida Stetson, I like over 148.5. And same thing with the Kennesaw State Queens game. I like over 171.5. James Madison, Coastal Carolina. I'm going to take Coastal Carolina plus 14.5 to cover. And you will see what I think. The total is 154.5, but you'll see whether I think it's going to go over or under that total later on in the show. Central Arkansas and North Alabama. That is also on my sheet for cover picks, but I will say I like the over 154.5 in the Central Arkansas North Alabama game. Cornell and Pennsylvania is also on my upset list. And so take over 157.5 in the Cornell, Pennsylvania game. Columbia and Princeton is one of my cover picks, but I will give you, I like under 144.5 in the Columbia Princeton game. UL Monroe, South Alabama, UL Monroe. Give me South Alabama minus 7.5, and give me South Alabama to win. Lipscomb, Eastern Kentucky. Now, we're going to look at this. I am not taking Lipscomb minus 3.5. I'm taking Lipscomb to win, and I'm taking Lipscomb in EKU to go, Eastern Kentucky to go over 159.5. Bellarmine Austin P is also on here as the cover pick. I am taking over 139.5 in the Bellarmine Austin P game. Troy, Texas State is also one of my cover picks, but I like over 140.5. We've got Louisiana and Southern Miss. Give me Southern Miss plus 7.5 to cover. But I think Louisiana wins. And give me over 148.5. Dayton and Loyola Chicago. Give me Dayton minus 1.5. Nevada Fresno State's on my board for giving Fresno State plus 14.5 to cover. You will get my over-under pick from that game later. And the last game of the night, Utah State, Air Force. Give me Air Force plus 15.5 to cover. And give me, this screams under 137.5 in the Air Force Utah State game. Now, give me the NBA schedule. So tonight at 7 o'clock, we've got the Cavs and the Pistons. And the Pistons have been playing okay as of late, but I like Cleveland here to get the W and win. I think Cleveland minus 8.5 is a safe play here. I think they cover. Philadelphia and Charlotte, give me over 213.5. That is on my board as an upset later on. Boston and Dallas, also give me the over there. I will give you my pick for that later. Warriors, Raptors, give me the Warriors minus 3.5. Grizzlies, Blazers. Give me over 207.5 points in the Blazers Grizzlies game. T-Wolves and Kings. Over 224.5 in the Blazers in the Timberwolves Kings game. And give me Minnesota minus the 6.5. Pacers, Pelicans is on my board. But give me the over 238.5 in the Pacers Pelicans game. Bucks Bulls at 10 o'clock. Give me Milwaukee minus 3.5 and give me over 221.5. Wizards Clippers. Give me the Clippers minus 15.5 and give me over 238.5 points. And now to the last part of the show. Here's my college basketball upsets for today. We've got my first upset is Kennesaw State plus 1.5 to upset Queens. Kennesaw State needs this win really, really bad if they want good seeding in the ASUN tournament. And Queens has nothing to lose here. So if Queens wins, it's whatever. But I think Kennesaw State and Terrell Burton get the big upset here. My second upset is Florida Gulf Coast plus 1.5. Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast plus 1.5 to upset Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville really doesn't have anything to play for. They are probably going to make the ASUN tournament. But I think Florida Gulf Coast here, plus 1.5, I think that's generous. I think it should be at plus 1 or pick 'em. Because I think this is going to be a good game tonight. and I think Florida Gulf Coast can pull the upset. My third upset is Pennsylvania plus 4.5 to upset Cornell. That is Penn University in Pennsylvania. I like Penn to pull the upset here for one reason. Because both these teams have to play tomorrow again, but not against each other, against somebody else in the Ivy League. And I feel like Pennsylvania can pull the upset here, but then Cornell, whoever they play tomorrow, they're going to upset that team. So it's reverse psychology in a way. And my last upset is Fairfield plus 1 to upset Marist. I think it's at 1.5, but whatever you get, whatever sports book you bet on, if it says plus 1 for Fairfield, I would take it plus 1.5. I'd still take it. I like Fairfield here a lot to pull the upset. My cover picks for college basketball tonight. North Florida minus 2 to cover the point spread against Stetson. Now, hear me out on this. This is North Florida's last game of the regular season, and I was wrong when I said they would win out. But I think they will beat Stetson and avenge one of their conference losses they had this year. And I like them to cover against Stetson. And then my second cover pick is Columbia plus 13 to cover the spread against Princeton. Now, this screams cover all the way for Columbia. Plus 13, I think you're getting it at a discount here for me. If you're going to bet on Columbia and Princeton, I love the 13 points that they're giving to to Princeton. Princeton minus 13 that's the safe bet. The risky one is Columbia plus 13, and I like that more than taking the lazy play of Princeton minus 13. Third cover pick is Austin Peay minus 8.5 to cover against Bellarmine. Bellarmine is decent, but they've been riddled with injuries. So I like Austin Peay minus the 8.5 here to cover the spread. And my last cover pick is Texas State plus 3 to cover the point spread against Troy. This game it screams a cover pick and possible potential upset here. I like Texas State plus the 3.5. I think they cover, but like I said a minute ago, I think Troy does end up winning somehow. And now my over-under picks for today's slate of college basketball. James Madison versus Coastal Carolina. I think James Madison and Coastal Carolina go over their expected point total of 154.5. And I say that because legitimately, I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. And the other over I like on the schedule tonight is North Alabama, that I wrote down, is North Alabama versus Central Arkansas. Over right now, the point total is 154 points, and I like over 154 in the North Alabama Central Arkansas game. Atlantic Sun game, I like the over as much as I'll take it anywhere I can get it. And then my under pick for tonight's college basketball slate is Fresno State versus Nevada under 137. Under 137 points. And my reasoning behind this is I don't trust that they're going to go over that because I've looked at their point totals they score on the year, and it's horrendous. I think they're going to under that spread, under that point total. My NBA upset picks for tonight is number one is the Indiana Pacers +8 to upset the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, you may look at me and say, why are you taking this as an upset? This is not going to happen. It's the NBA. Anything can happen. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything can happen. And I think there's a shot that Indiana Pacers upset the Pelicans. My second upset is the Trailblazers +1.5 to upset the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a battle of two teams that are horrible. The Grizzlies were supposed to be really good this year, but Ja got hurt, came back. Well, he was suspended the first part of the season, came back, played good. Then he got hurt, and he was out for the whole season. And now he's not going to be back again until next year. But I like the Trailblazers here +1.5 to upset Memphis. And my last upset, this is a shot in the dark. It is Charlotte Hornets +11.5 to upset the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, hear me out on this one. The Hornets are not very good. But the Sixers, they're good, but they're missing Joel Embiid, which is why I have them on upset alert. And then my cover pick of the night is the Boston Celtics -10 to cover the point spread against the Dallas Mavericks. I think this is going to be the best game of the night tonight in the NBA. And I like the Celtics here to cover the point spread and beat the Mavericks. And ladies and everyone, if you didn't know, I do have a second YouTube channel that I'm going to start to upload on more. If you wouldn't mind giving it a subscribe, it is Alec Sports Channel 25. I will be linking it down in the comments down below. And this YouTube channel offers memberships. And the memberships start at 99 cents a month. And you get neat perks with it. If we get enough members, we will do members-only live streams, where only the members of the Sports Talk Podcast and College Football Podcast, College Football Show Podcast get the upset picks. But if we don't get enough, everybody gets the college football upset picks when this college football season starts. But if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications. That's the most important thing, so you don't miss any future videos. As I've said at the end of some of my videos, middle of August to the end of August, I will start to post little hints at where my college football trip will be going this year with the Sports Talk Podcast, the College Football Show. And it will be all me posting videos at wherever I'm going for college football this year. But that does it for today's video. I will see you guys at 11 a.m. on Monday. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Till the next video. Peace.